guess the first one's the most important one.
That's it, the centre line's always the big one. Everything has to flow outwards from the middle, especially with the lowrider patterns. So the most crucial one is to get that centre line down, and then we can mirror everything side to side.
So I like to see you like me, no laser, just a good eye.
No laser, old school, mate.
So you mentioned lowrider pattern, so there's like a particular style?
Yeah, there is. I mean, traditionally with lowrider patterning, there's a lot of straight, long lines up the sides of cars, you know, down the centre of cars. There's a certain, I guess, way that people think that they need to be laid down. It all comes down to the artist's opinion of that. But
it's a style.
Generally, it's a style that everything runs long ways up the car. So,
Righto.
So there'll be a lot of these
Keep
long
going, mate.
lines
Long
running.
lines.
What's that? Yeah, that's right. I'll run it up a little bit further. So everything, like the external border, will form the parts. So I'm just trying to map out, like there'll be 4 elements to the top of the car. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and within inside those 4 elements, there'll be another 3 elements. So then it'll go gradient, fade, gradient, fade, gradient, fade. Gold leaf pin line, gold leaf pin line. You know, each panel will have its own little telltale story of what's happening. So this at the moment will be our 2 main hood ones, and then this will go straight down the side of the car, exiting in those angular ways that I was talking about, and yeah, it just leaves us the original colour as well. You know, so you've got blocks of original colour to tell the story, and because you're using pearls, you're not changing dramatically the overall colour of the car. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The green candy's probably the heaviest of the lot over the top. So.
Now.
Yeah, I thought it was second time.
Yeah, just sort of depending on the job, you know, because this is all pearls. I just want to get an idea of the area and the space area of the car. You want to be able to sort of, especially doing the display panel and the test piece, make sure you can fit all of that onto the car. So the idea of that test piece was that it had a centerline like the ridge of the bonnet and the boot, so that it would run down. So I was basically using that and that on the test panel, and then we're just adding an extra element to the side, which will have the same amounts in it, so it'll have the same fades, just on a smaller level inside it. So I just sort of have a bit of a play with the shapes and the contours of the car, just to see whether it'll flow a bit better than everything being rounded.
The second side's always the harder one.
Yeah, well, the good thing about mapping it out, especially with these tape lines, is you're pretty much using a ruler.
Yeah.
So you don't go off necessarily your gaps. You go off where tape edge to edge.
Yep.
And then the car should be all the same.
Yeah, I just find even doing, steel work with body, and you make one side look cool and you go, oh bugger, now I've got to try and make the other one the same.
Mirror image is always the hardest thing.
Yep. Try and mirror image it, it's like, oh.
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's right on that ridge line of, where the trim pieces will be too. So it's going to be a soft shadow,
Yeah.
but something that'll need to be right. Out. So I wanted to do that at the back
Yeah.
of the car because they sort of
Come down.
come up, yeah, and especially on the rear of the car as well. So the rear of the car plays into having a little open piece here.
Yeah, right.
So this one was going to come down
Yeah.
and then have a little bit of a curl.
Oh, yeah.
So it can just add another little element.
Then they used to have a pad here on some piles or whatever, so it's sort of following that.
Yeah, well that goes,
One of them go here, so you can do that.
that one goes down in this part here. So just at the back there, you've got Impala with the, yeah, with the gold round emblem as well.
Yeah.
I think we'll go with a straight. Yeah. Probably 3. I'll probably go another one here, another one here, and another one here, and then bring it back out. So
Just got to be patient.
yeah. So I'll grab a whole heap of it. Yeah. So, yeah, I know. We had it this morning. Hamish, you there? Just jump back in the middle of the car for me.
Knee pads in this booth, mate.
You do, yeah. It's not like my concrete floor booth.
Yeah, mine too. Mine's concrete floor.
Even that, the concrete's not the best for the knees, but the grates are definitely a little bit more uncomfortable. Cool. Catch you in the morning. baby. Got to start fresh, don't we?
Oh, this side.
Big one. Offset. Yeah. So off the board, and what the customer wanted was, I want the whole thing to be covered in panels and patterns, but not in your face.
Yeah.
So when the sun shines on it, it comes alive. Yeah, so it's trying to make a crazy pattern job, but just limit the craziness of it until the sun hits it. So it's still got to have the same amount of masking as any other pattern job, but you're hitting it with about half as much paint. So there's no real way of cheating. Okay, inside on that edge. We'll do 2 big panels. That's it. All night session.
Crazy professor, eh?
Yeah. It's just all measurements and definition, you know, trying to make sure that everything flows and
And it fits the
lines
eye,
up.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
The comment I use a lot when I'm videoing show cars is you want everything right, you don't want anything catching your eye.
Yeah.
And with this, it's like, with all what's going on, and only one thing not quite right, and that catches your eye, and you
Yep.
go, yeah,
Yep.
Not bad, but
So, bit of 1, 2.
it put me in it.
Nah, it's just a bit too thick.
Tap your point down.
Oh, yeah. Beep.
No, it's good. I'll get it close up.
So these panels will end up creating like a border or an edge for the gold leaf design that'll go through. We'll be able to break it into 2 sections. So obviously start the design up here and then it'll be broken by the line, come back out the other side, down here to finish, which will be mirrored on the other side as well. Inside of it's quite fragile and thin. Just need the area to be a bit smaller.
I've disappeared for 5 minutes. Make sure my video looked all right, and I come back and it's all gone.
Forever evolving.
Yep.
Yep. There's a lot of different apps now you can use to like forward think it all, but it's just the vibrancy and the way that it looks on the screen compared to, yeah, just always been hard to, you know, especially explain it to a customer. They go, oh, that green's a bit bright, or, you know, it's where the test panels are always good because you're using the same colours. Yesterday I came in and just sort of mapped out a Centerline, so the whole way through the car, obviously being a convertible makes it nice and easy. We're going to be running all the patterns through the dash on this one as well, or the top face of the dash. So Centerline, and then I work out, so all using my grid as tape. So this is basically my ruler, whether it be 2-inch, 18mm, 12mm, 6mm. I'll use that as a bit of a guide going the whole way through. So sort of not using the gaps, using the tape. So Centerline should be the dead center of the car and sort of working out. So, and we're going to be fading like, I'll just grab the board up the back here. So the brief with this one is to basically, like I said in there, sort of make ghosted panels out of it. So the first colour that'll go on will be this one down here, which is the original colour of the car, just with a little bit of white added to it. So that'll form the first section, which will go inside this one here and fade off. So we'll do section at a time. So we'll do the first one, then mask over what we've done, cover up everything, working towards the inside of the car. So we'll basically pattern the whole car without releasing any tape right till the end, and then remove the whole lot. And you'll have your green candy, your dark bits, your lighter bits, you know, all your gradients. Then tomorrow I'll be coming back and adding all the gold leaf. So for anyone that doesn't know what the gold leaf is, it's like this is called variegated gold leaf. It's got like an oil stain sort of look to it. It's really popular in the lowrider industry and scene. And you just use it very thinly. So it's all done like hand pinstriped. I actually come up with these designs and then I mirror everything. So I make it into a chalk pounce. I chalk it onto each side of the car so they're both exactly the same. And then obviously, you know, pinstripe by hand with our gold size, and then you wait for that to tack off, and then you put your leaf on top of that, and then seal everything up. So doing this style of pattern job as well, like I said, you're not building a massive edge. It's all ghosted stuff, so we can work quite quick. So we'll tape the whole car up with this internal first line, which will be this one here, and we'll paint that. So, and then we'll keep on going section to section. So with a bit of luck, we'll get most of it done today. Cool, everyone's sort of hands on deck. I'll mask something, then I'll want to give everyone a bit of a hands on at how to obviously tack your lines on and do your radius corners to get your lines sort of perfectly symmetrical. All right, go from there. Cool, the other side. Okay.
Do you want that to job?
Yeah, so that'll come off. I'll leave that one as a guideline, but mainly everything inside of here. So I'll take all of these ones off here. We'll run them all again.
Oh, you want this side of the bonnet done with it?
Yes, please. Yeah, I'll metho wipe the whole car. And just one thing as well, if whoever's sort of laying tape down on the job as well, it's not real easy to work with gloves, but if you are wiping over the car, we'll wipe over it with gloves on. And if you're touching the tape, just try and lay the tape down, only
Gloves on,
pressing on the tape.
camera.
Not sticking your whole palm all over the car, just because, as we all know, what's on our hands is the worst for the job. So that one will come off as well. Yep. Beautiful. So yeah, with the green tape that I've laid down the centre of the car, so obviously like I was saying, there's a Centerline which is made up of like I think it's around about a 20 odd mil tape, and I just use it as a ruler. So on the next side, so on the left hand side of the car, I'll do the same representation of what I've done on this side. So yeah, that's it, yeah. So using this tape as well as a ruler and so on and so forth. So we'll get the whole car mapped out like this, through the boot, down the sides. I've got a bit of a game plan in my head. Once we've done one side, I'll give everyone a chance to do the other side as well. This blue tape, which I use as well, I was just telling Simon, it's great for cutting a really fine edge. So like perfectly straight, sharp. A lot of you have probably used this stuff here, you know, you can get it everywhere. It's great. I use a lot of it to map out, and if you're doing like a pearl or a very faint edge, I could use this on the whole job. I just wanted to give you a bit of an idea of how this works, and also working with different colours. Like it's a look thing, you know, so you know what you're doing. If you're doing green on top of green on top of green, it all gets lost. Yeah, so using another colour in there just to map out everything really helps as well.
Do they come in different sizes? Like, you know,
Yep.
you say you use your tape as a ruler.
Yep.
What sizes are they like?
Yeah, so this, yeah, so you got pretty much on this table here, we got 3 mil,
3 mil,
6 mil,
6 mil.
12. That's around about I think it's a little bit bigger than 18, maybe around a 20 they do. Then they go up to a 48. I think they've got a 36 as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So it's a great way to use just a ruler, you know, you can't go wrong, you know, and as long as you tag that one end on, and you're just using your hand to guide your center line, you know. Sometimes using rulers off points of the car can send you on a wild goose chase, you know. It might be, you know, 38 from there and 36.5 from the other side, and you end up wonky. So it's a good way to just map out everything. You go through a heap of tape, but you just put it in the job. You know, so, you know, every order I do of this stuff, you know, it's only a box of each, like a carton of each, about $700. But yeah, this one's about, those rolls there are about $80 each. Yeah, so this is this tape here is it's like a crepe tape, but it's a low tack. So it's like a low release. So it's not like using a normal 2-inch, which would have massive bond to the panel, and it just take you forever. You know, half of it's ripping off as you're taking it off, and whereas this stuff, it's quite easy to lay on and quite easy to take off as well. So they're good. It's just the few little tools that you use while you're doing it. So yeah, I'll tack the other side of this on and off, and then we'll run the blue line. Yeah, have a look at the tapes if you want, like going through the day. Hey Tommy, do you mind just jumping in here, mate? I'll tag this side on. Yeah, go. Yeah, around about there. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I need some music now. I can't work without music. All right, and I need a bit of Pink Floyd for this job, I reckon. Hey? Pink
A little
Floyd,
bit of a
mate.
kick in it back there, so back through the door, unfortunately. Yeah.
This sort of job, I reckon you need something
Yeah.
calming. Bit of Lou Reed, eh? Billy Joel. Billy Joel.
Yeah, I think it's maybe this top
Just watching
line.
a doco on
Yeah.
Billy Joel.
This needs
I
to
never
come a little bit
realised-
further over
I've
here.
got a lot of his albums. I never realised how.
First one, yeah, so bring that up, and then I'll use the 12mm tape in between the gaps. So to measure that distance between that one and the next one, bring the next one down and around, then measure from this one to the next point, and it forms basically where that curve's going to be. I always try and measure when you're going to start turning the tape. So not necessarily where that line is going to be, but that'll start to turn there and come up and then go through there. So yeah, I find if you try to get the area back here, your turn might be here or it might be too late just to get the radius right. So, and then try not to press too hard when you're using your marking slot. Pencil charcoal is always good as well. You know, it just crumbles a little bit, gets a bit messy. So I just try and tag it with a little Sharpie and it won't rub off.
So it's always talked about, but clean, clean, clean. So Prepsol and metho water.
Yep.
So you've got a solvent based and then an alcohol based to make sure you've got no oils from people's hands. So the car was sanded and then trailered here as well. So you need to make sure that you've got it really clean. And Kyle's now just making sure he's got no little bits sitting up.
Yeah, just all that taping, you're always going to have a few edges here and there, so just to make sure that everything is nice and tight around all the corners and the radiuses. From there we can start painting. Nothing worse than a little bleed through on one of the corners. Having to go back and back mask and recorrect it. Wiping, prep
Just
sole
adds
thinners
that
back on
extra
it.
time, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. The more time you can take now, the better the result's going to be with the first colour going in.
I mean, it's always hard. You're hanging to get the gun in your hand,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's so important.
it is. Yeah, all this preparation, preparation is key for a clean job, and as long as it's all masked up perfectly, we should have no issues.
So before you get that gun out, just give us a little rundown on what this step is.
Yeah, so this first step, so obviously we've masked the whole car for the first colour, the initial colour. The initial colour is exactly the same as the ground coat applied to the car, which was a nice sort of olive gold green. All we've done in about 100 grams of the colour is add 5 grams of white to that colour. So all that's doing is just toning down the greenness and the darkness of the green and adding an element of pastel green to that mix. So that'll add our first border. Then we'll secondary mask on top of that first shaded area. And that'll be a green candy in an 895 binder, which will then form our next dimension of the paint job.
So all of these colours will all have a hardener in them, so they'll all be activated?
No, so everything I do, being able to re-mask on top of stuff. So if I was to activate these colours now, that'd stay a little bit doughy, so it wouldn't air dry as quick.
Okay.
So everything that we're doing on top of the sealed, so all of our sealed ground coat has been activated. So our base coat, clear coats, everything's activated to that point. From this point on until we then activate with clear again, or our 895 step, we might activate our 895 over the whole car. That'll then be activated, but the tackiness that the activator or the hardener leaves once doing definition paint, it'll just throw everything out.
Yeah.
It'll remain tacky. We won't be able to 100% tape on top of it for at least half an hour. It's just going to throw our timing out. So.
Okay. Well, let's boot these guys out, get the gun out.
Yep.
The cast of thousands, mate.
It is. Yeah. Full prep team. Yeah. Yep. Beautiful. Just go one.
So what's happening here now?
So as we've done the top section, the next fade is a bottom fade for where the original mould goes on the Impalas. So all these moulds are two-tone engraved, so we want them to be a bit of a feature of the pattern job as well. So I don't want in this next fade any of my overspray from this line to go onto the top line. Because what we've done in the top panel is going to repeat itself 3 times. So I don't want the last colour to have any of this pearl or the ground colour.
Darken it up.
I want them to have a harsh break line where it starts and stops.
Cool.
Yeah, being a smaller gap, because we've still got to put the pearl in there as well, so we don't want to. So this one can sort of have a bit of green candy over the pearl.
Yep.
And it'll just create another bit of gradient. Yeah. So 2, 1, 2. So 2, 2. Hang on, what have we got here, Matty?
I went over the top of it with this.
Nah, we only want one side, because the fade's going to come up one side, and then it's going to start there.
So that's the original one.
Yep.
Then I did 2 and 2.
No, so not on this side. So this side will just come straight out the bottom.
You're
and
in
then
your
back
element,
up
ain't you,
again.
Terry? Eh? Loving it.
Trying to get this.
Oh, on this side?
Tez has been doing Pilates lately.
Yeah, so it'll be one pass down here. So this will go straight through.
What's wrong with Pilates in here?
Nah, yeah, just one pass here.
Oh, one.
Yeah, just make sure we have a look at the other side first. We'll try and do one side and then the other side. Yeah. So the front edge will have 2. This edge will have none. So you're going to come candy up, but candy straight through underneath as if it's going underneath, and then back up again. Okay? So this one will exit there. This one will start green candy just straight out of here, and then go up. So 2 again. 1, 2. So 1 pass here. 1 pass the whole way along the car. 2 on front edge. 2 on front edge. 2 on, yeah.
This is only supposed to be 1.
1, yeah.
All right, mate, give me a quick description of what you're all up to at the moment.
All right, so second colour, I guess getting ready for the second colour. So first lot of colour is in. Now we're running 2-inch offset, so internal.
So the tape basically is your tape measure? So
Tape is the tape measure. So now we're going back in on what we just painted over with a 2-inch border the whole way around, which will then have another inset 3mm tape line, which will be the line that we use to paint against.
Okay.
So it's just creating sort of depth.
Layers.
Yeah, and layers, yeah. There we go. 1.
I reckon I should add some of this fluoro green. It looks good against the olive.
Yeah, we might leave that back one. Yeah. Yeah. What we might do though, we'll do one extra one up.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Yeah, so just tag it on the top there and then give yourself enough that you can pull it down over the dash. And then just tap down over the scuttle there. Yeah, give it a firm one. Yep. Yeah. Long one, and then probably do 3 or 4, but make the first one the longest, then the second one a little bit smaller. Yeah, so yeah. But yeah, we can run a top line on the other side. Is Tommy doing that one? No. So see what I've done here. So I've got 1. And then an 18 mil, and then 1. Okay, and then I'm going to drop this one in. So this one's going to go, it's going to have a little drop and then go through the car. No, so if you just do this for now, I'll do the rest, but just that, and 1. Yep, cool.
Righto, we're back at it this morning, so a bit of a late one last night to try and get to a point where we could move forward today. So you beat me here, Kyle, so all you blokes are already started.
Yeah, I think I should have slept in the car park last night, but we're back here again. So yeah, after we left last night, we sealed what we had done. So after taking all the tape lines off, giving it a light tack rag, making sure everything was clean, we were happy with the lines and consistency of the lines and so on. We laid an 895 down, which is like a colour blender or binder. It's just a clear base coat really to seal and protect everything that we'd done throughout the day yesterday. So the three layers.
So it's still a base coat, not a clear?
It is, yeah. So obviously you got your flash off, you know, sort of 10 minutes, 15 minutes and it's nice and dry. A couple of coats on there that Tommy laid down last night. And then yeah, we were out of here at about 10:30.
Beautiful. So what are we up to now then?
So next stage will be to start adding the detailed accents or filigree style sort of gold leaf and pinstriping. So what we're doing is mapping out our lines for the gold leaf first off. Once they're done, we'll add our gold size, which is the...
so it's a gold leaf pin line?
Yeah, it's like a honey consistency basically, and it's the glue that adheres the gold leaf to the panel.
Yeah, but it's a gold leaf pin line that you're putting on?
It will be, yeah. So a 3mm pin line to a filigree, you know, small accent, and then back into a fine line again. So that'll be highlighted.
So the masking now is to apply the glue for the leaf?
Exactly, yeah. To make sure that all our lines, we're going with it, you know, very detailed, perfect lines throughout this job, you know, no frayed edges.
Yep.
So we're gonna mask in all of our gold leaf so that it's perfect 3mm consistency the whole way through the job. Through the middle of these panels here will be a hand-done pin line with a filigree style detail, which will run through both panels, separated by the middle line.
So explain the tape process that you're going through at the moment.
So to find our perfect lines here, we've got a 12mm tape off our candy green edge, which will give us a little bit more depth. Then our 3mm line that we've got here is where our gold leaf will run. So we put the 3mm line in and then we back mask that inner and outer edge with a nice sort of rubberized tape that we use to cut a perfectly clean edge on the gold leaf or the glue.
Or the glue, cool.
So we'll put the glue down, we'll release all of the tape, and then we'll hand apply our gold leaf onto the panel.
Looking forward to seeing that actually.
It'll be great.
Yep, alrighty. So I'll cast the thousands again today.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, as long as you're finding that. This is just a chalk pencil, not a wax pencil. Don't use a wax pencil on them, doesn't come off.
So was that a sign writer's pencil or something, is it?
Yeah, it's just like white chalk or white charcoal. No, that'll be all right. Probably just maybe at the top, just so you can pin the top there. that's going a bit to the side. Maybe not. Towards the end of these panels, I'll just do a little kick in the corners as well, and just sort of centralising everything to the middle of.
The tape's always your ruler.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a nice trim piece here that goes in the middle, which has some, chrome and gold engraving on it. So if everything sort of morphs into creating a bit of a centrepiece there as well, it'll be a nice flow.
No swearing, mate. Terry, you swearing?
Yeah, just leaves a very faint chalk imprint. Just like the old sort of tattoo template or old sign writer's template.
So have you used a little roller with the pins where they put it on and then they dab it on, goes through the holes? Have you tried that?
Oh yeah, that's another good one. If you're doing a big lettering job, like a big gold leaf lettering job, and it's got drop shadows and so on, it's a good way to form your drop shadow marking points. So works really well. It's been around for many years, that form. Just are these two green ones. What I'm going to do in the corner here is taper it in so that ends in a really nice point.
Yeah.
So follow everything straight, then taper. Yeah.
Good with that, Glenn? No pressure, mate, no pressure.
Find the centre line of the bottom.
Where are you blokes up to? The ordinary dash.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'll bring that one roughly sort of back up so it then just creates a little bit of a border down here, tipping back up. But yeah, that bumper comes in a little bit, you've got to remember. So pretty much, yeah, pretty much, yeah. So we'll go, 3mm line. So radius up the front, 3mm line. As it comes to the back pocket here, we're going to tilt it up a little bit. So this one comes down, this one we're going to just do a little flick up, just so at the back of the car borders everything.
So what, that's just a piece of chalk scraped on the paper?
Yeah, that's right. So your everyday brown paper, masking paper that any shop has. Rough centerline down the middle, mirror everything, chalk on the back side, creates a perfect template side to side as long as you're taping and making sure your measurements end to end on the car, everything will be exactly the same both sides.
Freehand brush that?
Freehand brush that, yes. Yeah, so take that middle green line out, mix up my mix of gold sizing, hand brush that on, we'll brush in the rest of all the straight lines. Release it and do piece by piece by piece. So we're almost there.
And then we'll just add another pin line.
That's it.
What are we up to, mate?
Gold leaf process now, so adding our glue or our gilding size mix, which the gold leaf will form the base for the gold leaf to stick to. Just doing the little design filigree sections in now. Yes, yeah. So any sort of tape you use has the tendency to try and have its own glue next to what you're doing as well. So you're trying to eliminate the leaf sticking onto the glue that's on the tape and so on, so on, so on. So release it all once the gold size is in, lay down all your sheets without any tape interfering, I guess. The next process just involves the variegated gold leaf sheets. If you want to have a look at them. Get your wafer thin. Any sort of air movement makes them go all over the place. But yeah, that gets laid over the top.
You just got to draw it off.
Yeah, generally you sort of, you know it's got a couple of drops of hardener in it, like I said, so it's sort of going off rapidly. I do add a little bit of hardener every 2 to 3 brush strokes, so the more you add, the slow, it sort of slows it down even. So you just got to get that mixture right. A little bit of thinners in there as well, just so everything flows, get your nice straight line, and then yeah, apply your sheets on top. Then when I'm applying the sheets on the top of the gold size, I always use like a little makeup brush, high-tech tool. We lay it down sort of without touching any of the leaf except the edges with our fingers. There's a lot of wastage. Yeah, you end up vacuuming up a lot off the floor.
So at an average, what's the leaf or sheet?
You buy it in a book form, so normally about 25 hand-sized sort of sheets in a book.
That's already there.
Yep. And there's a few different types, which I'll show you after we finish this one. So there's like a red variegated, and this is like a blue-green variegated. I might try, and we've got a bit of wind coming in that back door, which is making it quite tricky. So yeah, wafer thin, so you just got to be really careful on, you know, being really delicate with the sheets. Yeah, you just gotta not too
soon.
Yeah, and you don't want it too wet, otherwise it'll burn through. So, you know, timing's everything. Occasionally you do get a few little edges that tear up, but can't take too long, can't be too quick. And then it's got that sort of oil stain that you can see, and it makes it sort of shimmer, gives it that rainbow sort of effect through the leaf. And then yeah, your smaller bits which come off you reuse and stagger up the... Yeah. I can see what you mean by with the tape. Yeah, and if you were going to try and wipe it off with anything else bar a makeup, it has to be something so soft and delicate. So if I was trying to just wipe it off with a microfiber or a rag, you'd just be tearing it off. And you'd see the glue start to appear underneath. So.
This is where we put the dramatic music behind it.
You're a pin drop, Heath. That ain't gonna worry me. All the gold leaf in the booth and we go and clear it all.
I asked Trev this morning.
No, I'm just saying. He would have said yes because I got a clean. He wouldn't give a shit at all.
But I think the beauty of the sound, but Kyle has an old style booth concrete floor, and it's a lot easier to vacuum and clean up.
Yeah,
So
hose it all down.
it has its, well, that group now has a better advantage to what even a modern boot like this does.
Yep.
Becomes a lot more complicated even if it's a better boot.
Yeah, it stops.
Need a vacuum.
Yeah.
And I mean, these books run at about $100 odd a book. So we'll probably use about 6 or 7 today. So, you know, yeah.
Can you Kyle pre-cut those pages to?
You could.
You could do like almost a piano finger size.
You could. I find it sometimes a little bit harder to manage though,
Yeah.
than having a big sheet and being able to just lay it over the top, grab a piece, lay it.
Get a decent grip on
You know,
it.
everyone has their own style, I guess. But yeah, you can cut these books down into small sheets and just strategically place them over. They do also, I remember I bought a little bit in Japan on a tape roll style system with a backing tape in between it.
Yep.
And you can just roll it on the whole way up the side of a car. So a few different options in it. It's all leaf quality and different type as well. We get all of our leaf, whether it be 23 carat or different transfer or imitation golds from a supplier that comes out of Germany. So all of the top leaf generally comes from Germany. So.
And this product, what's it like under UV?
It's not too bad. I mean, I've had this product on cars that have, you know, I've cleared over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And the vibrance of the leaf and the clear quality and, you know, all PPG products. You know, a car I did in Autofane going back over 10 years, you know, the leaf, everything's still as vibrant and strong as ever. You know, they are also show style cars, which don't see every day out in the UV, so helps a little.
The more exposure to any element, everything's going to break down.
Exactly, yeah, exactly, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much finished product for one. Now we've got to do another 30.
So what happens to the excess?
Yeah,
Vacuum it up.
We'll just lightly blow it off.
But it's waste.
It's just waste.
why it can't
Yeah,
be
you can
$700
you can
worth
grab
of leafing.
a bunch of this and start to place it over the next one. You just end up taking a bit longer. You know, I just cater it into the job. You know, and you'd rather have more than not enough. And I've noticed the flatter you lay the leaf on the panel as well, the nicer your sheen, and it lays down a little bit flatter. If you start to pick up small pieces like this and just start to place them next to it, it forms a bit of an uneven texture, and you can notice it under the clear. So
what's this class as?
the name of it, variegated gold leaf. So it's just made up of, you know, it has like an oil stainy type rainbow effect to it. You can get a blue-green, which we're using for this job, obviously with the green tones. And then there's a copper red tone as well, which is a little bit, you know, redder throughout the copper leaf and the red side of the oil stain.
Can you just put it in your
Righto,
So
so
it's
do a
your-
revised one of that, Kyle. So tell us what the base is for what you're using and then why you're putting the hardener in it, and then we'll put it on the video.
Yeah, so I guess the ground, or the, you know, the sort of honey-like consistency that I'm using here is the ground for the gold leaf to go on. I just use an enamel. There's a proper gilding size that you can use as well. It's generally translucent though. You can't really see your edges and so on. So I use enamel with 2K hardener in it, just a couple of tiny drops. A little bit of thinner along the way as well, just to obviously get the consistency right. And as long as it's quite thin and even, it'll start to tack off within sort of a window of, you know, sort of 10 minutes to half
Keep
an
going, mate,
hour.
it'll be dry. You got to work and paint talk and paint at the same time. So the thinner, is it designed for the paint or designed for the hardener?
Nah, it's just to get a little bit of flow. So if you kept on adding hardener to the enamel, it'd just turn into glug.
So 2K thinner or
Yeah, just
acrylic
2K
or
thinner.
2K thinner.
Yeah, the only part that's enamel is the paint.
Yep.
But if you weren't to add the hardener to it, it would just remain soft. Or every time the car went out in the sun in extreme sort of 30-degree days, this part of it would go back to sort of jelly again. If I give you a pinstripe and a hot rod, you know, if it got really, really hot, it would sort of melt back down into what you see on the pallet there. It never really goes rock solid. So the 2K hardener just makes it give you a bit of security.
The Americans sell gold leaf too? Obviously they
Yep.
would, but
Yep.
you would prefer the German stuff?
Yeah, there's a lot of imitation gold out there as well. And especially when you get into like proper 23 or 24 karat gold leaf, you know, you've probably seen the engine turn stuff, like on the gases and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
If you use imitation stuff, it doesn't look like gold. But it's the difference between paying $18 to $20 for a book and 150. You know, and it's, if you think of a big logo on the side of a gasser, it's that logo is going to cost you a good part of like probably $3 to $4 grand to get done.
Wow.
If it's decent size. You know, 2-3 days by the time you get it done. There's a lot in it. So just by doing that lightly, it's just sort of getting the edges all real nice. The one big thing as well, using this tape is a big help. Like if you use the crepe stuff in between your lines, it'll bleed under.
Yeah.
And get a whole bunch of bleed through. So this just makes it a bit more even, consistent the whole way through.
So you always just do sections?
Yeah, it dries too quick.
Yeah.
So if you sort of tried to do at least half the car in one go,
Yeah.
you'd just be chasing your tail. Like it'd
Yeah.
be dry, the leaf wouldn't stick.
Yeah.
Half would, half wouldn't. Sort of have a little bit of an inconsistent job. You can see when you add the 2K hardener to your mix,
Yep.
start to get these little bubbles,
Yep.
which is sort of everything just starting to react and bind to each other. But it's actually good in
Yep.
this.
Okay.
Probably wouldn't do it if you were painting, add things to other things that aren't meant to be in there, but this does work.
Yeah, right. And that one bites back in.
Yeah,
Hardener.
yeah.
So another early start, mate.
Yeah, back at it again.
So pretty good day yesterday. Obviously you had a lot of helpers, which probably slowed it down a bit, trying to give people a go.
I mean, it's good, you know, explaining it to everyone and going through the processes to show people and motivate people about this sort of art form is great. But you know, there's a certain element of the time in turning the gold leaf as well. So you have to work against the clock. It's a little bit of a race once you put your size down, and you know, if it dries off and tacks off, you've got to start again.
Yeah.
So that element of it, you know, as much of explaining was for good fun, we were also racing, you know, trying to get to the next bit, to the next panel, move along the car and up towards the back. But,
So mate, I see a few scuffs and stuff. Just explain to me what I'm looking at.
Yep. So when we put the panels, all the patterns and the pearls and the candy down, we put a couple of coats of 895, which is like a clear base coat or colour blender. And that just seals everything up. As we're touching the panels in the next step of doing the gold leaf, the elements for getting a little bit of gold size or the yellow sort of glue that we use is quite common to rub a little bit off, as much as we're trying not to. It does get on the panel. So the scuffs that you'll see are just little frayed edges that we had, and a few little, you know, off the back of your knuckle or off the back of your finger that wiped on the panel. Having that 895 there is a bit of a protective layer. You can come back in just with a soft pad 2000, 3000, just give it a light little scuff on that top, which is what you're seeing there in the different reflections. So we're just cleaning the panel up.
Just to say, just to clean up, make
Yeah.
sure everything's right.
And it doesn't affect what's underneath. So having that little bit of a build-up of a clear base coat on top, just to lock everything in, is just a security blanket for the rest of the job going on top.
And I got some footage of the vacuum and all going, but of course now you got to get rid of all of that.
Yeah, all the tiny little gold leaf particles floating around in the elements. You know, as you'll probably see through the booth floor and the filters, it goes everywhere. But we'll get as much of that off. We'll retape as much as we can down to the ground, make a nice clean job before we clear it this afternoon.
And you've got another pin line to go, have you?
Yeah, one more colour to go in, which is it's not a bright, vibrant green, but it's more of a pastel, you know, toned down green, which will go in a couple of elements in the car. So not a lot. We've got a lot going on already. Trying to keep the classy elements.
It's interesting though, there is a lot, but at the same token, it's got a bit of class and a bit of style about it.
That's what was the brief with this. It was, you know, I want a fully patterned car, but let's not go crazy with too many colours. Let's keep that green to gold elements, you know, obviously using pearls and some candy just to fade away. Once that Gen Clear goes on today, the PPG Gen Clear, it'll bring it all to life, you know, it'll make it a lot more vibrant. But it will disappear in the low light as well. So
yeah, I mean, even through the camera, the camera tends to pick it up even now more so than the naked eye, you know. So.
Yeah, having these nice low lights in the booth as well really captures.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, what's going to go on down the side of the car, and you know, we got these 4 sections here which I airbrushed in or dusted the edges in, and then put a pearl layer on top of. So we're starting here with about a 1.4 metre length. Then it goes down to about a 1 metre length, the 700, and we've got about a 400 on the end there.
And of course you've got a lot of mouldings and...
A lot of mouldings to go on this. So yeah, as you can see, all of these marked areas or drilled areas here is a nice big mould that goes the whole way top and bottom on the car, all the way through to the front. And that's chrome and gold plated, also hand engraved, so filigree engraving the whole way through the car. Pretty much every element on this car, so all of the lower skirt sections as well are gold. We've got a gold accent chrome engraved here. All of these moulds are chrome engraved. All the dash pieces that'll go back on are all chrome and engraved. The handles are chrome and engraved. We've got a lot of bling still to go on the car. So as much as we're doing a full pattern job, trying not to overdo it too much with craziness. So subtle, classy, but effective. Getting close. We're in the final stages now, so yeah, just any of the particles still flying around in the air. So booth on now. Try and suck everything down into the filters. We don't want any of that particles, you know, tiny little bits of leaf speckles flying up into the new paint job. So try and blow off everything, dust everything down.
So one more wipe, or is it?
Yeah, one more wipe. So after we've given it a light blow, it'll be a bit of a metho water wipe. So just a really light surface wipe. We don't want to, you know, go touching any of the gold leaf too much. It's a very fragile component, so you want to leave it, you know, set and lock in by itself, not touch it too much. But you still need to give a little bit of a prep on that, you know, 895 we've had on there for that window. So making sure we've kept inside that window each time, so that the next layer can go and lock into the one below. Activated.
895, 7 to 1 to 6 or something. Just go from RFU, but just drop out all the mouth in. Just go probably about 97. The hard is going to take up one part.
Yeah, with our coat that's going to go on next, we'll another coat 895, so like a clear base coat. In theory, we're actually going to activate it. So everything is activated with the same hardener. The clear that we put on originally to seal up the car over the base coat was activated, the clear was activated with the same hardener, all using PPG products the whole way through. So we'll go over with a light dust coat of the 895. That'll lock in. That 2K hardener will be going nice and hard, and giving a foundation platform for our clears to then go straight on top of that. One more final check and then some clear. if I lightly go over all of the gold with a dry one, and it just takes, like, if you can sort of notice, like if you hit it, you get a tiny little bit of the gold flake coming off. So we'll try and eliminate it as much as we can.
Well, mate, coming to an end.
Yeah, the final stage. Can't wait.
So, mate, it's looking pretty sharp, and obviously I've already filmed the bonnet and stuff, but it's really made those colours work now.
It does, yeah. Look after that little bit of a colour sand, so we get everything ready for the flow coat, which we're doing now. Give it a couple of good bakes in between.
So what did you put, like 3 coats of the Gen Clear on it, which is like a general purpose clear?
Yeah, we actually went 4 coats.
4?
Seal everything in over the gold leaf, give it plenty of build and body. End up probably taking about a coat and a half off with the sand.
So the sand, what was the sanding that you did on it? Was
so we went in at 500, chopped everything down, 800 wet. Went over with a nice
hand or machine, or
a little bit of hand, a little bit of machine.
Yep.
Yeah. After this flow coat process as well, we'll come back and colour sand and correct all the panels through the clear coat as well.
I was going to say, looking at where it was sanded, it looked to me like it whilst we call it a flow coat, it's probably like an extra coat.
That's right, yeah.
You know, a true flow coat is no sort of sanding after that, but
That's
this
right.
is really like that extra build
Yeah, exactly. So we
to be able to chop it now.
We go 3 coats, so generally, everyday collision, I guess a flow coat would probably be 2 coats. So we'll build it off with 3, using the OptiClear this time, PPG's OptiClear. And it'll give us another coat to basically work with there, colour sand and correct, which we do with all our jobs.
And what grade will you start with?
We'll probably start at around about 1,000 to 1,200, and then we work up to 15, 2,000, 3,000, then 5,000 pads. You almost bring the sheen back to the surface when you're doing 5,000. Makes for an easy sort of wool pad after that, and all the processes afterwards.
So it looks like your offside is ready to go.
We're ready to go, coat 2, let's go.
Well, how about that? That was unbelievable. So 2 hours of video, and I mean, you only made a comment earlier about how you jammed so much into that week.
Yep. It was a little bit too much for 2 weeks, I think. The general time frame involved would probably be a little bit longer than that, but we managed to do it. You know, we did a couple of late afternoons there to get it done, but you know, all in all, I think we achieved what we needed to.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was like 3 months' work.
Pretty much.
If you were here.
Pretty much.
doing
If we were here, it would be a little bit more of a drawn-out process.
Yep.
Not for the fact of trying to draw it out, but just, you know, taking your time with a few different layers in between. But that's not to say that we didn't do it right. You know, we did the process right.
Well,
It's
you had a
just,
lot of hands.
We had a lot of hands, we had a lot of help, and it was
Yep.
trying to show people, I guess, what comes with doing the job. So you can do it, you put your mind to it. You know, that's not
Yep.
to tell everyone that it takes 2 weeks to paint a car, but can be done.
Yeah. So, mate, we're back at the shop now.
Yep.
And we're on, what, Northern Beaches, I guess we call it.
Yeah, Brookvale, Northern
Yep.
Beaches, Sydney. So.
And it's been some time now because you've had a few dramas. Just tell us about how we've ended up from where we were painting to
Yep.
where you are now.
Yeah, so I guess, you know, as every car evolves through the process of, you know, customisation or a redo or a remodel of this car, we sort of, you know, set about trying to make it better. So we now have fully engraved moulds across the front. We have fully engraved moulds down the side of the car. We had a little bit of wait time, which threw a little bit of a spanner in the works with those, but all in all, we got them in the end.
And they're out of Mexico?
Yeah, out of the States, so
Yep.
somewhere in the States, and all hand engraved. So it's a feature that goes hand in hand with this style of car. Obviously the 64 Impala and this very iconic lowrider style car, which is what this is. It's a fairly capable car too. It's got a massive hydraulic setup. You know, so we've got the looks and the go with the suspension as well.
True
so
lowrider.
That's right. So you know, to have standard moulds here, you know, bordering the bonnet edge and the grille and so on. So we two-tone the grille. I've got a nice product which actually you know, allows you to go over the original stainless or chrome, turn it into a gold. So we did all this in the front here. All the moulds came from America. Finally, after a big wait, they were the last piece to the puzzle.
That's pretty cool. I'll have to talk to you about that afterwards because this does look like it's anodised.
That's right, yeah. So this started off as just a silver aluminium grille. So we very delicately masked all the sections off that we wanted gold and that we wanted silver to create that two-tone sort of depth that you get with the engraving that's running through the car.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now you're saying some of the engraving and that was done previously, so
It was, yeah.
what's happening
So
with the-
I guess when the car came to us, you know, we've now done a full colour change
Take
and
this off,
pattern.
can I?
Yep, get rid of that. Yeah, so it had a fully engraved dash panel and all the supporting parts for the instruments underneath. Obviously the club plaque and a few other pieces around the car were engraved. From there, we sort of thought, well, you can't have just those pieces. We need to make it a complete bordering artwork, you know, using all the gold leaf that is in the paint job. It needed to have that silver and gold breakup through the trims. So now we have two-tone engraved gold and chrome up the side of the car, bordering the rear of the car around the tail lights and also the front grille.
And then all of that, the work you've done now with the gold leaf, it all works now.
It does, and
it works off each other.
Yeah, so we had the vision, obviously, you know, you have a rendering and a bit of a design brief in your head before you start these jobs. And we knew that the car was going to run with the gold wheels. It was going to have a lot of gold, but the bumpers were going to remain chrome. We didn't want to overdo the gold in the look factor of this car.
Yeah, it's a nice balance.
Yes, yeah. So it was always the thing to just balance it out evenly.
So this, like with a decent light over that now, you can really see that variation in your stages that we talked about in the painting process.
Definitely, yeah. There's method to the madness now, I guess.
You start to see it, but I mean, when you're doing it, when I was watching you doing it, I'm thinking, oh, it doesn't look a lot different, but that's the whole idea.
It is, and different lights tell a different story with this car. We lit it up outside the other night and got a few nice photos, and we had some, you know, headlight light on there, and you really see the depth and definition in the pearls, and just those reduced candy colours as well. So this car wasn't about covering it in metal flake like a lot of your traditional, you know, jobs. I've done a lot of metal flake candy jobs over the years. It creates a massive wow factor. I feel this is a timeless lowrider pattern job. So
yeah, this is classic.
Yeah, you know, just using, you know, very similar colours to the original body colour that we chose, and reducing them and adding to them to create, you know, pearl overlays and so on.
So looking now forward, so it's going to be unveiled at the PPG corner at Summonats.
It will, yes.
And this video will be after that.
Yep.
We spoke briefly about the polishing process, and is that where you end up going to get to this point?
Yeah, that's right. So getting it back without any of the moulds on, obviously, and before we started to fit the car up, we went through the processes of slicing it all back. So, you know, using the Perspex blocks and so on, and getting all your orange peel out of the car, and just defining the clear and just making it a little bit more flowing, just so you can use natural lights to sort of tell the story.
So 12, 1500 hard block?
Yep, 2000 hard block also.
Yep.
And then onto your orbital pads, so your 3M orbital pads, that we use obviously to create the
finish,
effect,
to get that nice.
Yeah. So they're a Trizact, use them a little bit wet, and they just take those harsher swirl marks out of it.
Yeah, and
start to polish it up.
A lot of people sort of wonder about using the machines, but I've personally found that, you know, you block everything else, you hard block. Once you go to the machine, any residue of scratch marks or whatever, it's a different pattern and you can see it straight away.
That's right, exactly.
It just makes it so much better.
And as long as you've done that process underneath by taking the peel and everything out and really working the clear coat, then those stages that you use with the 3000 and 5000 should be quite easy.
It's polishing.
It is, it is. You're almost starting to polish the car before you actually put a machine polish on it.
So now you got it assembled.
Yep.
It'll be back to the polish again, I imagine.
It is, yeah. So now it's all assembled. Obviously, we've had hands and so on over it. You know, as it sits at the moment, it's just had a little bit of a show detail over it, but we'll now do a couple of stages. So the third and fourth stages, which we normally do, and we'll tape up all the moulds on the car and every sort of bit of rubber so that we don't get any compound now. And then we'll go over it again. So another probably 2 to 3 days work.
Beautiful.
Yep.
All right, I'm looking forward to seeing it at the Summonats.
Yep.
And it's been a pleasure to work with you, Kyle, to be able to put together what I think will be an invaluable couple of hours for anybody that thinks that either want to have a go at this or why it costs so much to do this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That this video will be able to help people to understand.
Yeah.
And an opportunity of it for you guys to show what you do so well.
I appreciate it, Howard. It's been great working with you also, and fantastic to have this memory as well to look back on and so everyone can see what's involved in doing this style of work.
Awesome.
So, appreciate it.
So thanks everybody. This one's a long one. I'm going to leave it as one episode because I find if you break them in half, they just get lost. If you enjoy what you're watching, we've got a whole lot of other stuff on the channel. Go and have a look, subscribe. If you've got questions, I'll get Kyle to make sure he has a bit of a look for the first few weeks on any questions or queries. If I can answer them, I will, or someone from PPG. And click the like button, and thanks for joining us.